Hi there, I'm going to show you how to make a histogram out of data in Google Sheets. Here is a file that shows data from our stretching steel wool mass and change lab data part 1. So the first thing that you're going to do so that you can actually manipulate the data is you're going to make a copy of it. So just go up to File and then make a copy. And then you can rename this and place it in a folder of your choice. And I've already done so, so I'm not going to hit OK, but you would. From there, you want to choose the column that you're going to graph. And the easiest thing to do is just grab the top letter here. Now in this case, we had initial mass and final mass. And we don't really need to graph those, but what we really care about is the change in mass. So I'm going to highlight that column. And then you have two ways to insert a graph. You can either come up here and hit Insert and then choose Chart, or a quicker way is to come over here and insert Chart. So it's going to default to this scatter plot, which isn't really what I want, but that's okay. I can change that pretty easily. I'm going to drag my graph over here so it's away from my data. And so under Chart Editor, under Setup, I can choose right here. The suggested graphs come up at the top. The histogram that we want is right here. In case that doesn't pop up for you, scroll down. Under Other, if you hover over the icons, you'll find the different graph types, and it is histogram chart. So this is a good start, but we need to do some editing here. So now what we'll do is we'll go up to Customize, and let's mess with these bucket sizes. Right now it's kind of varying between 0.02 and 0.01, but what we really want to do is highlight and show what our data is really doing. So this is automatically making bucket or bin sizes for me. I have other choices that it's giving me, but check this out. If I choose 1, clearly that doesn't show me what's going on with the data. So the bucket sizes are much smaller than that. If I go back to auto, we can see that again, it's going between 0.02 and 0.01. Now I can type this in manually, and I'll say 0.02. It'll give me a different shape on my graph, and it's showing me that in general, most of the groups didn't have much of a change in mass, but they had a little bit. I can also change that to 0.01, and this is what my graph looks like. So again, I can get a little finer detail on what most groups had happen. Looks like most of them lost a little bit of mass, but not much. But then there was some groups that actually gained a little bit of mass. That seems strange, given what we did in the lab, but maybe somebody made a mistake and had a little extra material on their tray. So after we've done that, we need to now edit our axis and our axis labels. So here we'll go down to Chart and Axis Titles. Let's start with the horizontal axis title, which is actually missing. And this is our change in mass, not the y-axis. So let's go ahead and make this our change in mass. I've already typed that earlier, which is why it's giving me that option, but you can type it too. Change in mass. Always have units if it involves numbers. And notice that it put that down there for me. Now let's go and change our vertical axis title. That is not change in mass. Instead, this is our frequency, which is how often these values came up. That looks pretty good. And then really that's your graph. You can copy and paste this and put that onto another file. Up here in these 3 dots, if you would rather work on editing your graph in a larger screen, you can move to its own sheet and it would add another tab for you. You know, when I'm looking at this, I might want to actually make this a little bit of a different title. If I double click on my graph, it brings me the chart editor back, and I can say chart title, and I might want to name this mass and change stretching split wheel roll. And then that will be nicer because as we go through the labs, you'll see that we have 6 of these. So I hope that was helpful. And otherwise, we will post written directions as well.